The thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parks Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
Let's Go Racing is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
Hi everyone, I'm Jessica Paquette, joined with Dick Girardi. This is Let's Go Racing, and we are here on Preakness Saturday. I am so excited to see so many fans out here at Parks. Kentucky Derby Day was my first time getting to call the races in front of a big audience, and it was so much more fun with fans on the apron. So I'm really looking forward to that today. So if you're not here at Parks yet, come out for all of the family fun, pony rides, a DJ, plus racing all before the 148th running of the Preakness Stakes. We'll get you all set for today's Preakness at Pimlico, but we have some things to recap. Some Parks horses were out and about at Belmont, at Monmouth, representing Parks and the PTHA everywhere. But first, the Preakness.
The Preakness, field of 8, Jessica. It's one of the smaller fields I can remember, and for the first time since 1969, when we went to the present format of Derby, 2 weeks to the Preakness, 3 to the Belmont, only 1 horse out of the Derby. But the good news is that 1 horse is the Derby winner. Mage is back to see if he can get the second leg of the Triple Crown.
Mage is trying to get 1 step closer to horse racing immortality by winning the second jewel of the Triple Crown, but he will not be unopposed. But here, take a listen to what his owners had to say as they approach the second leg of the Triple Crown.
Well, we're thrilled to announce that Mage will be headed to the, 148th running of the Preakness Stakes.
Very excited. He's had a magnificent week of training. Gustavo is just really pleased and over the moon of how he's come back. He's shown all the positive signs. So it's on to Baltimore and crab cakes. Here we come.
What kind of confidence will you go into the Preakness with, now that you've won the Derby?
Jenny, I think just because of the fact that he has only 4 starts, and usually they tend to get better with the races, especially after the 3rd, the 4th, like in this. I think he's in a good momentum. That gave us a bit of confidence. It's a short space between races. He's going to go on a band now. Every day is crucial. We're paying attention to the details. But
You had a great tweet yesterday with a picture of you with Wayne Lucas, both of you with Wayne Lucas.
Yeah.
What did he tell you?
well,
He's won it 7 times, I think it is.
yes, we
6, 7.
want to just stop by and salute him and showing the admiration that my dad and I both feel about him. And he was, just like we imagined, very nice. And he gave a couple of advice about when to ship and who to use and that kind of thing. And he actually liked the horse before the race, he told us.
Well, the field in this year's Preakness Stakes may be a little bit smaller than we're used to, with only 8 horses and only 1 from the Kentucky Derby. One trend that is coming from the Kentucky Derby to this race is some relatively unknown jockeys are getting a big chance on a big stage. Sheldon Russell, Fergal Lynch, these are 2 gentlemen that have made their careers in the Mid-Atlantic, and they're getting a shot on the big day. We saw Jareth Loveberry show that with the right horse, these riders are as good as anyone, so I'm looking forward to seeing how those 2 fare on the big day.
And Jessica, as I've said many times, that's why they call it horse racing and not jockey racing. If you can't get on the right horse, doesn't matter who's riding, but you're right, it is cool. Of course, Fergal Lynch rode here at Parks for a number of years, so people around here are very familiar with him and his brother Cal Lynch.
Now, let's get to some local horse racing with Monday's featured race. The favorite, Our Uptown Girl, she delivered pretty handily.
Yeah, no, she's tough, and I actually picked her when we did our picks last week. Danny picked Emirates Affair, so keep your eye on both of them. Who's calling this race?
It's me. That will never get old. Emirates Affair on the outside, Darling Donna right in between those 2 noses apart, then a gap of 3 or so back to Castilleja. In on the rail, Our Uptown Girl, then the Goddess of Snakes. She's moved up into 4th, right to her outside. There's E.T.'s Moon Maiden, then back to Clout Chaser, and Spanakopita is your early trailer. Darling Donna eager to move on. She puts her neck in front of Emirates Affair through an opening quarter of 23 flat as they make their way down the backstretch. Darling Donna tugging on the reins to the outside. Emirates Affair maintaining her position in 2nd, and it's Our Uptown Girl in on the rail. rail in third. The Goddess of Snakes, she's coiled in fourth. Right to her outside, Castilleja going a bit better than ET's Moon Maiden. Spanakopita getting in gear from the back. And Clout Chaser is your trailer. As they make their way around the turn, Darling Donna and Emirates Affair, those two have been duking it out the entire way. It's Our Uptown Girl who's launching her bid 3 wide as they round the turn. Spanakopita, the little gray filly, she is picking up some steam from the back, and Castilleja also being asked for a little bit more. In on the rail, Darling Donna, Emirates Affair fights back. Our Uptown Girl with some momentum, and ET's Moon Maiden trying to make up some ground. Our Uptown Girl going a bit wide. She is weaving in and out here, but she is moving best of all. Emirates Affair fighting on gamely. Here comes ET's Moon Maiden, but it is Our Uptown Girl and Anthony Nunez, the Pennsylvania bred, gets the win. Our Uptown Girl, the favorite, delivers.
Perfect trip. I actually thought she might go to the front. I was not unhappy just when she's sitting third behind 2 dueling speed balls. Got the perfect trip. I actually thought Danny's horse, who ended up running second, Emirates Affair, may have actually run the best race, but you know what? I'll take it and move on.
Moving right along, and a lot to move on to. We have more for you from the Preakness Stakes, but we also have some Parks horses representing the PTHA and parks throughout the East Coast. Belmont Park, Monmouth Park, more when we come back.
Barron now has the lead by a head. Twisted Ride is on the outside in second.
Peace and Justice. Lifetime, he's sired over 60% winners from starters and nearly 40% 2-year-old winners from starters. His runners have won or placed in nearly 40% of their starts, with average earnings per starter well above his stud fee. In 2022, his progeny won at 14 racetracks in 10 states. Peace and Justice, standing at Blackstone Farm, PA.
Chapman Ford of Horsham is now the #1 volume Ford dealer in the Philadelphia region. There's plenty of reasons why, and it's not just because we have a great selection of new Fords. That helps, but it's mostly because of how much we all take pride in providing the best customer experience, the Chapman experience. Finding your new Ford can still be difficult. If we don't have it in stock, then we'll help you reserve one of our available inbound vehicles, or our order team can help you custom order the exact new Ford you want. We make it easy at Chapman Ford of Horsham, the #1 volume Ford dealer in the Philadelphia region.
If you want action and you want it now, you got to get the new Parks Racing mobile app. Wager and watch thoroughbred and harness racing from around the world. With the Parks Racing mobile app, it's easy to open and fund your account. Then place your wagers and cheer on your horse as they thunder down the stretch. With the Parks Racing mobile app, you'll easily make withdrawal requests, view the previous day's replays and results. Plus, open any new account now, and you'll be automatically enrolled in the Parks Rewards program. The more you wager, the more you earn. Get the new Parks Racing mobile app and get in on the action.
Welcome back, and more from the Preakness Stakes. Here's an interview with Brad Cox, who will saddle the lightly raced First Mission Lexington to the Preakness. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought he was really impressive in that race. Just the question is, how will he match up, obviously, with the Derby winner?
He's doing very well. He had a good breeze here Derby morning, first thing, 5:15. On Saturday, he bounced out of it in great shape. Really like what we've seen from him, well, all winter and into the spring, and obviously stepped up. And, you know, he's lightly raced, but he's got a lot of talent, and looking forward to giving him a swing at a grade 1. You know, I think this horse is one of the top 3-year-olds. I really do believe he's one of the top 3-year-olds in the country. He's stepped up. Like I said, he's lightly raced, but a lot of talent, very intelligent horse, sound horse, does everything right, and I think he's only going to get better with the more he does it.
And now to Belmont Park for the Run Happy Stakes, grade 3 for 4-year-olds and up, going 7 furlongs, and Parks and Pennsylvania breds well represented in Barron and Twisted Ride.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen both of them run around here a bunch of times. Barron for Butch Reed, 11 lifetime wins. Twisted Ride for Mike Moore on a big roll, and I know you're a big Twisted Ride fan, Jess.
I am. Barron might be the hometown favorite, but I think Twisted Ride is the star on the rides. Take a look at the Run Happy Stakes.
Twisted Ride right out for the early lead. Candyman Rocket is on the outside, and Barron is down towards the rail. So 3 of them right together here in the early going. Mr. Phil sits just off of them in 4th. 2.5 lengths back to stage left, and down at the rail is the gray Drafted. Up front, Barron now has the lead by a head. Twisted Ride is on the outside in second, opening quarter mile 22 and 3/5 seconds. Candyman Rocket sits behind the front pair in third. It's almost 3 lengths back to the trio of Mr. Phil, Drafted, and in between horses is Stage Left. Up front, the battle continues between Barron and Twisted Ride, and the 2 of them hit the top of the stretch together. The half mile in a strong 45 seconds. It is Twisted Ride and Barron with Candyman Rocket Rocket bearing down on them now. Here comes Candyman Rocket on the outside. Twisted Ride continues to battle on. Barron is now back running in third. Stage Left is in fourth. It is Candyman Rocket who rolls home in the Grade 3 Run Happy.
How about that performance from Twisted Ride in the Run Happy Stakes? Now, to me, this is a horse who is a star on the rise. I've gotten to see him up close in Michael Moore's barn a couple of times, and he's a horse who is physically just coming into his own. He's big, he's a little immature, I think mentally and physically. I saw him the day after he won here at Parks, his last win, and he was bouncing around the stall, tearing down the barn like a fire-breathing dragon. Clearly came back in good order, ran very well, and I think this is just the first graded stakes race of probably many for him.
Yeah, I mean, didn't win, but deserved to win, right? Candyman Rocket got the perfect trip. The Parks horses are battling with each other. Could you like one go and leave the other one alone? I mean, what's up with that? But yeah, Twisted Ride was the best horse, just didn't win the race.
And the action continues at Belmont Park with the Vagrancy Stakes. Dr. B.
Yeah, Butch Reed has high hopes for her to the point where he's actually thinking about the filly and mare sprint on Breeders' Cup Day at Santa Anita in November. She finished her last season tremendous, of course, named after the First Lady, Jill Biden. Dr. B, favorite in the Vegas.
It's Dr. B along with Easy to Bless. Then a length and a half to Mozienko, Midnight Stroll. The early trailer in seventh. Rosa Veloce by a half length. Easy to Bless. Big long shot on the outside, races in second through a quarter in 23 and 1/5 seconds. Mozienko is on the move on the outside and takes third. Funny How is down at the rail. Dr. B in between horses and now dropping back a few spots. Past there on the outside by Midnight Stroll and by Caramel Swirl. It is Rosa Veloce and Mozienko. They are heads apart coming for the quarter pole, the half mile in 46 and 3/5 seconds. Rosa Veloce, Mozienko on the outside. The two of them are right together into the lane. It is Rosa Veloce still in front. Mozienko is all out in second and gaining ground on the outside. Here comes Caramel Swirl. Caramel Swirl kicking in late here to take over. And it is Caramel Swirl and Junior Alvarado to win the Vagrancy.
Caramel Swirl, the winner. Dr. B continues the string of seconditis for Parks horses. And what did you think of the race?
I thought the race was interesting. I'm not sure what my man Irad Ortiz was doing exactly, Jess, on Dr. B. Certainly one of the best riders we have. When he gets inducted to the Hall of Fame in the not too distant future, he will not be having that video next to him as he goes in. I don't know what he was doing, but Dr. B is going to have a giant year. Look out. Bet her the next time and every time.
Terrific effort from her. And now let's go to the shore to Monmouth Park for the Serena's Song. A couple of really nice Parks horses there. Leader of the band and also Warhorse Sweet Wilhelmina.
Yeah, leader of the band is so cool. I mean, she's coming off a layoff. And Sweet Wilhelmina, what a claim for Scott Lake. He's had some great claims in his career. This might be right up near the top.
I love the way he speaks about that mare. I featured her on Warhorse Wednesday a couple of weeks ago, and she is treated like an absolute queen in the barn, and he just wishes he had a barn full of horses like her.
Understandable. And here is the call from our buddy Chris Bradford.
Pretty tightly bunched here as they work to the backstretch. It's Leader of the Band in front. Leader of the Band went 23-4 for an easy opening quarter mile. Leader of the Band is up by a half length. Distinctly Possible is tracking there in second. Sweet Wilhelmina is at the rail in third. Starting to move forward is Moma Tiger out in the center of the racetrack, and in between horses there is Don't Get Cozy. Ira Rendon is looking for a way through, is challenging for that third position. Shotgun Hottie. Vargas with nowhere to go at the tail end of the field there with the trailer. Radio Days, less than a half mile to go. Leader of the Band going to try and take them all the way. They went 47 seconds flat for that half mile time. Here comes Distinctly Possible, who's within range, and Distinctly Possible is within a half length. The front two have now separated. They're quickly up by 3-4 winding lengths, and they get set to match up with a quarter mile left to go in the Serena Song Stakes. To the inside, it's Leader of the Band. To the outside, Distinctly Possible. They are shoulder to shoulder at the top of the stretch, and Distinctly Possible has taken the lead. Leader of the Band is trying to fight back to the inside. She's doing just that. Distinctly Possible. Leader of the Band. Far back to the rest. Distinctly Possible with a neck in front. Distinctly Possible almost there. Distinctly Possible wins the Serena Song.
And the favorite, Distinctly Possible, delivered for trainer Chad Brown. Leader of the Band, a very game second, however.
Yeah, they went around the track together. Leader of the Band, I was a little surprised she was in front, but there was just no speed in the race. So for her first race off a layoff, I think she did tremendous. But Chad Brown again finds a way to beat the Parks horse. Just not fair.
Again, but maybe we'll get him next
There you
time.
go.
The action continued at Monmouth Park with the Long Branch Stakes, a prep for the Haskell. It's for 3-year-olds going 1 mile and 70 yards, and Butch Reed well represented with 90% Maddie and Didinger.
Yeah, for sure. And I know Butch has high hopes for both. 90% Maddie did everything but win the Tessio. It was great that day, and I know he's always had high hopes for Didinger. Is named after my good friend and Philadelphia sports writing and telecasting legend Ray Didinger. The favorite is Slip Mahoney, and these guys always just show up. Brad Cox, he doesn't have enough good 3-year-olds. He's got another one. Here's the Long Branch and Chris Griffin.
It's No Confession and Anthony Nunez. They've secured the front. They're a half length in front of Awfully Cool and Jeremy Laprida tracking in second. Didinger has gotten over to the rail, is going to save ground to the inside, is now in fourth. Pass to the outside by the stablemate. That's 90% Maddie with a wide run. Following that is How Great Is Nate. Slip Mahoney is only 3 off the lead, is the trailer. They're tightly bunched as they work to the backstretch. 22-3, the opening quarter mile for the long shot. No Confession is in front, but they start to swarm this leader now. Awfully Cool now turns up the pressure. 2 wide. 3 wide is 90% Maddie. Right there is How Great Is Nate. 4 across the racetrack. Didinger. Paco Lopez wants off the rail now. He's right in behind those pace setters. Slip Mahoney is still the trailer as they've got less than a half mile to go. 46.40 for a half mile time. Awfully Cool with a nose in front as they work into the turn. No Confession is still there. How Great Is Nate is looming up 3 wide. How Great Is Nate has now taken the lead. Awfully Cool is right there to the inside. Didinger trying to pick up No Confession. Slip Mahoney is still 4 off the lead. They reach the top of the stretch, and the battle continues up front. Awfully Cool is still in front, and now Awfully Cool is up by a full length. Trying to put together a rally is 90%. Maddie. Slip Mahoney just making up mile ground. How Great Is Nate is still there. Down to these 2. Awfully Cool. How Great Is Nate is now lunging late. Awfully Cool. How Great Is Nate. How Great Is Nate. Awfully Cool photo.
Well, it was a Parks horse who won the race, sort of. Not a horse who was stabled here. People will remember How Great Is Nate when he won the Future Stars race here at Parks on the 5th of December, and then went to the Gotham, lost the rider at the beginning. And unfortunately, it was a trainer change from our buddy Andy Simoff to Elizabeth Dobles, but How Great Is Nate was good. 91 buyer figure. See him back in the Haskell. I thought 90% Maddie ran okay, not as good as he'd run in other races. And I was surprised Didinger ran as poorly as he did. I think he's got more talent, but that's that, and we'll move on.
I was also surprised by Didinger.
Yeah.
He was one who I really thought was going to show himself a little bit better. But 90% Maddie, he has really won me over. He
Tough
has
horse.
some heart and some grit to him.
He does.
I think the more he grows up, the better he is going to be.
Yep, don't give up on those Butch Reed 3-year-olds.
I never do. They always come back swinging. Now, after the break, we will talk about our jockey and trainer of the week here at Parks.
Turning for Home is a nonprofit that has provided nearly 2,800 former racehorses with a safe retirement. The program was created through the foresight of the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association.
We all love animals, and to give back to something that helps us so much, it's a great thing.
Responding to the need for a better system that addressed the uncertain future for the retiring equine population at Parks Racing, the PTHA rallied horsemen to support the program.
These horses can do anything from hunter jumpers to western to therapeutic riding.
Turning for Home became the first on-track retirement program at a year-round racetrack.
We want to make sure that our horses that have run so well for us over the years get the great opportunity to get a new vocation.
Out of everything that we've done in Pennsylvania for racing, I think that's the thing we can be most proud of.
If you would like to help these amazing animals find a great second career and forever home, please give us a call or contact us at turningforhome.org.
Welcome back, everyone, and now we shine the spotlight on the horsemen and women here at Parks. Our trainer and jockey of the week, presented by Turning for Home, an organization near and dear to my heart because Thoroughbred Aftercare means so much to me. Now our trainer of the week, Michael Moore, off the claim with Catalone, claimed this filly a couple of starts back, stepped up in class. What a racehorse she is turning out to be. I think she's just getting better and better, poised to have a big season.
Very nice.
And our jockey of the week, Dexter Haddock, who I think gets a little overlooked in our very competitive jockey colony. And there's no one I'd rather have on a closer. He finishes so well, gives all of his horses this week especially a really fair shot.
He's just Parks' version of Joel Rosario. If he's close at the finish, he'll find a way to get there.
That's it, our own Joel Rosario here at Parks. Now, let's look back to racing from all across the country, some major stakes races, including the Peter Pan at Belmont Park.
Yeah, typically, Jess, this is a prep race for the Belmont Stakes itself, and Bishop's Bay, Brad Cox, 9-5 is the 9 horse. He's been in the race from the start. And Arcangelo, very lightly raced, Jenna Antonucci, the trainer, and these two hook up and they are rolling through the stretch, and they are 8 lengths clear of the rest of the field, and Arcangelo up just late to win by a head at 5-2. To be determined if we'll see either or both back in the Belmont Stakes, but 97 buyer figure suggests there are possibilities.
Well, I'm happy to report that Arcangelo seemed to come out of the race really well. Jenna posted a video of him in the round pen at Belmont, kicking up his heels. He looks fantastic. Doesn't look like that race took much out of him at all.
Yeah, on that same card, the Man of War Grade 1 was one right before it. We love these mile and 3/8 races.
My
on the
absolute
grass.
favorite.
I mean, you gotta love it. And I don't know the last time I remember a 9-year-old winning a Grade 1, but keep your eye on the one. Red Knight, 9-year-old New York bred, come flying from, nowhere. And I do mean nowhere. And this time, Irad did it the right way. Red Knight's going to get up just in time.
Well, I saw Red Knight win at Colonial Downs off the layoff this summer. It certainly impressed me then. I thought Horatio Karamanos gave him a textbook perfect ride that day. And Red Knight just keeps on rolling.
He does indeed. And the 9-year-old, I remember John Henry winning as a 9-year-old. Remember any 9-year-olds winning a Grade 1 in like the last 100 years?
I can't recall, but I do love seeing these older horses still continue onward. Just getting better with age, like a fine wine. And now we go to the West Coast, to the San Luis Rey, and we have Awfully Naughty.
Yeah, and we got a 1.5 miles on the grass, another marathon race. And Dicey Mochera, the 3, is the 8-5 choice, along with Awfully Naughty, also 8-5. And it's Awfully Naughty he's the 4 horse coming from about 6th here. My good buddy, Michael McCarthy, the former Todd Pletcher assistant, has made some name for himself on the West Coast. Awfully Naughty's going to get up and win this thing by 1.25 lengths at the wire.
And now it's time for Eye on Racing, where our spotlight is on Pimlico, all about the racing from Maryland today. 8 stakes races, stacked card through and through.
Yeah, for sure. And the one we're going to be watching the most, other obviously than the Preakness, is race 10, the Jim McKay. Our last year's winner on Pennsylvania Derby Day. That's right, we'll be going, first race of the year, we'll be trying to see if he can't get it done again for our buddy Michael Moore. John Service got a really good horse in there, as does Butch Reed, so Parks will be well represented.
I think that is probably the most competitive race on the card. There's some value to be had there, and if anyone could get a horse ready off the bench, in Michael Moore, I trust.
Yeah, he gave me a text that this horse is really good, and of course, he was really good in the Turf Monster. I might have bet him that day, just while I was in the middle of doing a live TV show. I might have been looking.
We've all been there. There's no shame. That's why.
And if he's anything near 12-1, like he is in the morning line, we'll all be betting.
Just throw your wallet at the windows.
Yes, we will.
Now, after the break, we're going to offer some picks from Pimlico. Let's build the bankroll, some value to be had throughout the card. More when we come back.
Here in Pennsylvania, we're proud of our breeding program, the best in North America. But we're also proud to be leaders in this industry. The PA Horse Breeders Association is funding cutting-edge research at Penn Vet to detect gene doping in thoroughbreds. And we endorsed the SAFE Act to help end the slaughter of American horses. Plus, we're pleased to support the aftercare programs set up by our horsemen's groups. Just a few of the reasons why you should join us in Pennsylvania, the premier place to breed and race.
Peace and Justice. Lifetime, he sired over 60% winners from starters and nearly 40% 2-year-old winners from starters. His runners have won or placed in nearly 40% of their starts, with average earnings per starter well above his stud fee. In 2022, his progeny won at 14 racetracks in 10 states. Peace and Justice, standing at Blackstone Farm, PA.
Racehorses are pampered,
treated with care, and loved.
Nothing is more important than their health and their safety.
We do right by them,
and they do right by us.
the hard-working folks
Who proudly earn our living.
In Pennsylvania's horse racing,
and breeding industries.
Horse racing is a lot of fun.
but it's so much more.
It provides tens of thousands of jobs,
Jobs and billions in economic impact each year.
all across the Commonwealth.
Horse racing in Pennsylvania. It's a winner.
If you want action and you want it now, you got to get the new Parks Racing mobile app. Wager and watch thoroughbred and harness racing from around the world. With the Parks Racing mobile app, it's easy to open and fund your account. Then place your wagers and cheer on your horse as they thunder down the stretch. With the Parks Racing mobile app, you'll easily make withdrawal requests, view the previous day's replays and results. Plus, open any new account now, and you'll be automatically enrolled in the Parks Rewards program. The more you wager, the more you earn. Get the new Parks Racing mobile app and get in on the action.
Welcome back, everyone. Hi-ho from Pimlico, and it is Preakness Day. National treasure invading from the West Coast for Bob Baffert, who he certainly knows a thing or two about winning the Preakness Stakes. He is the all-time leading winning trainer of the Preakness Stakes.
Yeah, National Treasure's a talented horse, Jess. I watched all his tapes. He kind of just, there's something missing that you keep waiting for him to put it together, but maybe they have it figured out now. And here's more with Bob's legendary assistant trainer, Jimmy Barnes.
National Treasure shipped in good. We came in Saturday. We had a direct flight from LA to Newark, and then they vanned from New Jersey to here. So.
Are you kind of happy with the way he's been training in California leading up to coming into the Preakness?
Yeah, absolutely. He's fresh and happy and looks great.
And this is not a race that you're not familiar with. You've been here many times before.
Times.
You know how to win the race. Do you think that this is a horse that fits in a group like this?
I would think he fits in well, yes, absolutely.
What about as far as the track surface goes this morning? Are you happy with the way he got over it?
Yeah, this is a nice surface here, and our horses go over it very well.
Now, we have some Preakness thoughts to share with you in just a moment, but in the meantime, let's build our bankroll right here at Parks. Race number 9 today. It's a starter allowance race, big competitive field, 6.5 furlongs. And my top selection, Dr. Doom, coming out for the Service Barn. I know his last race was a little bit flat, but I loved his win 2 starts back. For me, this is a horse, a little bit of a Jekyll and Hyde type. It depends on which version of him shows up, but when he gets the right pace to run into, and I think he gets it here, he'll be flying late.
Yeah, love the post, love the consistent speed figures. That would be my pick, but since Jess is doing this for the first time, obviously I had to give her first pick.
What a
today.
gentleman.
Thank you, no problem. Polar win for me. Second off the claim for Aleem Lee. Threw out the first one. The jockey fell off in the middle of the race. This horse is way better than that, so Polar win for me.
All in all, a very competitive race. A lot of different ways you can go. Now to the Preakness, the second jewel of the Triple Crown.
Look, I think Mage is going to be, I want to say 6-5, right? I mean, if he runs back to the Derby, he's probably going to win. That was a really good race. I, however, am not picking him, and I don't think you are either.
I am not.
I'll go first. I think Bob Baffert, well, he's been waiting 2 years to get back into the Triple Crown, right? He hasn't had a horse running a Triple Crown race. We all know the deal since the 2021 Preakness when Medina Spirit ran. I think National Treasure. I watched all his works, watched all his races. He's on the rail. I think he's got speed. He's loose in the lead. I think he's gone. I'm picking National Treasure.
I will not argue with you there on the loose on the lead speed, dangerous at Pimlico, but I am kind of looking at a bigger picture here, and that is Red Route 1. He may not win the battle here. I think this horse wins the war. I want it to be known, I think he is probably one of the best, or if not the best, of this year's 3-year-old crop. I have liked this horse every step of the way, and to me he's that really typical Steve Asmussen horse that is getting better, and he's allowing him to develop at his own speed. Red Route 1, maybe we see him here in Pennsylvania Derby Day as well.
Yeah, his issue today is he just doesn't have a ton of pace to run at, right?
That's he needs them to come back to him a little bit.
He's going to need a little help, so maybe it's not today, but it's coming soon.
He's the kind of horse that will frustrate you as he makes this big late run, has to settle for second or third, and then you go in the Belmont. He just needs the added distance.
I got you.
And I don't think he's a horse that actually wants to go 1.5 miles, but that is a separate discussion.
Understood. Well, I'll be at Pimlico today, but Jess will be right here. She'll be calling the races. And what's happening here at Parks today?
We have some great things going on here at Parks. Family fun activities, DJ, live music, something for everybody, and of course, great live racing. Dick, it's been a great show with you. Thanks for helping me break my maiden on Let's Go Racing.
Very impressive first start.
Good debut effort, solid debut, some room to improve, but I always like a second-time starter. I'm Jessica Paquette. This is Dick Girardi. This is Let's Go Racing. Have a great day, everyone.
And they're off. Skippy Longstocking has early speed. We the people from in between horses. Taba has got the lead now. It's Taba in the center of the racetrack, but Taba is drawing away, and Taba with Mike Smith, they win the Bet Parks Pennsylvania Derby.